Hello dear readers and subscribers. Today we continue our quest for the most iconic and greatest artworks of the 21st century in our series Great Art Since 2000. Last time we discussed 10 iconic sculptures, and on the occasion of our brand new article where we discuss 10 new paintings, in this video we're going to discuss 5 of them so that we can have a slightly deeper dive on every single one of them. What makes an artwork great is not an easy question, especially also for painting, where material and pictorial innovation is no longer a clear parameter as it used to be in modern art, which is one of the contemplations we made in the video, whether it is still possible to create great art today. And we noticed that when it comes to painting, some paintings have become iconic because they are somewhat the icing on the cake of the career of a living icon, whereas others are iconic because of their kind of historical response to an event in recent history. Others became iconic because of controversy or simply because they were a groundbreaking commission. As a result, I'm pleased to present the following 5 paintings, and I very much welcome everyone to stay tuned to follow the rest of the series. So feel free to subscribe to see the upcoming 5 artworks as well.
Luc Tuymans' still life of 2002 is at first glance disarmingly modest in everything but its scale. A fruit still life with a carafe of water in the background based on a Cézanne watercolor. In the aftermath of 9/11 and in the context of Documenta 11, where the work was shown for the first time, one might have expected a violently dramatic picture from Tuymans, who was already known and lauded for his sharp political paintings. Think, for instance, of iconic works such as Mana Kitoko, Beautiful White Man of 2000, depicting a contested royal arrival during Belgium's colonial demise in Congo, or The Secretary of State in 2005, reducing Condoleezza Rice as his subject to her social role. Instead, Tuymans fled towards the idyll with the calmest and most serene image imaginable, yet one imbued with trauma, disbelief, and alienation. The scale of the painting is no coincidence, nor is it a hollow attempt to impress simply by painting on a monumental scale. Through that scale, Tuymans makes clear that still life is not merely a still life, but a history painting whose true subject matter remains veiled behind pale tones and hovering brushwork. As a result, he offers an image of stillness that feels all the more unsettling for its refusal to dramatize. Today, still life stands as essential work in Tuymans' oeuvre. It belongs to the renowned Pinot collection and has been exhibited several times since its debut at Documenta, including in his major solo exhibition, La Pelle, at Palazzo Grassi in Venice. In my humble opinion, Julie Mehretu has painted more than one great painting this century. However, Stadia 2 of 2004 has arguably become one of her best-known works to date. Part of a series of 3 Stadia paintings dealing with mass spectacle, the work is built around a centrifugal structure of black lines that evokes an undefined yet recognizable architectural form, similar to a sports arena, an amphitheater, an opera house, or even a political chamber. For Mehretu, such spaces are never neutral. They are places where people gather, protest, pray, celebrate, or even riot in large numbers. Across this architectural skeleton, shards of color, dots, circles, and floating geometric forms seem to swirl through the composition like confetti, flags, slogans, or fragments of collective emotion. Some marks recall national symbols, corporate logos, or religious signs, while grey painterly gestures rise like plumes of smoke, suggesting that spaces of triumph and spectacle can just as easily become sites of unrest, violence, and ideological fervor. Mehretu has described her paintings as systems, even as a whole cosmos, in which the small marks function like characters or individual stories, each with its own agency. That tension between the collective and the individual is central to her practice, and is built up through multiple layers of maps, diagrams, traces and gestures. By doing so, Stadia 2 is a dense and unstable image of contemporary life, in which power, movement, nationalism, and this global interconnectedness all seem to unfold at once. Cy Twombly's Untitled of 2005, from his legendary Bacchus series, is the largest work in that series and one of the most monumental paintings of the 21st century. Executed between 2003 and 2008, the Bacchus paintings are widely regarded as the culmination of Twombly's 50-year painterly practice. Named after the Roman god of winemaking, fertility, madness and religious ecstasy, the series unfolds across 3 distinct sets, with Untitled of 2005 belonging to the second and largest group. The painting was executed using a pole with a brush attached to it, drenched in rich vermilion paint. Its bright red spirals seem to climb and fall at the same time, while the paint runs down the canvas, suggesting the dripping of wine or blood, especially considering that Twombly began the series shortly after the US invasion of Iraq in 2003, once again responding to contemporary political violence through references to classical history and literature, as he had done earlier with works related to the Vietnam War in the 60s and 70s. The looping motif was already familiar from Twombly's earlier work, especially the so-called blackboard paintings of the late 1960s, where repetition created the sense of a continuous field of energy. Here, that line returns on an epic scale. In the catalogue essay for the 2005 exhibition, Malcolm Bull described the abiding theme of the Bacchus paintings as a force of madness rising, like a fire that rises from the depths of the sea. Towering at more than 10 feet high and over 16 feet wide, this particular painting became one of the most expensive works from Twombly's late career when it sold at Christie's New York in 2017 for a whopping $46 million. Collectively, the series marks the culmination of Twombly's long career, and in this fiery, physical and monumental canvas, that culmination becomes especially clear. It would not feel right to create a list of the most iconic paintings of the 21st century without including Gerhard Richter. In the wake of Tuymans' still life, Richter's September of 2005, depicting the Twin Towers in a haze of smoke and rubble, would also have been a strong choice for this list. However, his cage paintings 1 to 6 of 2006 are arguably more representative of his work since 2000, consisting of a cycle of 6 monumental abstract paintings that have come to occupy a central place in his late oeuvre. Richter was listening to the music of John Cage while making them, and later titled the series after the composer. Although there is no direct link between any individual canvas and a specific work by Cage, Richter had long been interested in Cage's ideas about ambient sound, silence, and the controlled role of chance in composition, similar to these Cage paintings. Conceived as a coherent group, the Cage paintings are among the most celebrated large-scale abstractions of the early 21st century. Their surfaces are dense, scraped, and repeatedly reworked with large squeegees, as Richter pulls color across the canvas and allows the image to unfold before him. Chance is not avoided but actively folded into the process, through successive acts of application, dragging, and removal. In these works, abstraction becomes less a matter of pure gesture, rather than accumulated decisions, revisions, and also erasures. It is perhaps precisely this balance between the authority but also its instability that made the series and this approach in general so memorable. The paintings have since been shown on numerous occasions, from Gagosian in Beverly Hills and New York to Tate Modern, where the full group is on display, and they also generated their own monographic publication. Another living icon that can't be omitted from this list is of course David Hockney. Bigger Trees Near Water is his largest work to date, measuring more than 4.5 by 12 meters and consisting of 50 panels joined together to form a single painting. The work returns Hockney to his native Yorkshire, with a view of a landscape near water, just before the arrival of spring, when the trees are beginning to come into leaf. Due to its scale and technical complexity, the painting took Hockney 6 weeks to complete. Working en plein air, he combined direct observation with a carefully structured process involving preliminary drawings, a sketched grid, and a digital photographic mosaic that allowed him to track the composition as a whole painting while painting its individual sections. In that sense, Bigger Trees Near Water brings together the tradition of landscape painting and the possibilities of contemporary technology, which makes an exemplary synthesis of Hockney's ongoing investigation into image making, observation, and the relationship between painting and other visual media and technology.
Feel free to subscribe to this channel for more contemporary art, but also for the part 2 of this video, the other 5 iconic great paintings we have selected for our series Great Art Since 2000. I think it is very safe to say that painting did not die in the 20th century. On the contrary, it's very much alive. For those of you who can't wait, you can discover the other paintings in our online magazine, where you can consult the complete article. I will link to it in the description below and in the pinned comment. And also feel free to subscribe to our newsletter, where you'll receive updates within our magazine, but also our educational activities with predominantly industry-approved career advice for artists. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Feel free to watch our video on 10 iconic sculptures of the 21st century next. Support us on Patreon and please consider subscribing to stay posted for more contemporary art. Bye.